In the intricate narrative of American military history, some figures are lauded for their bravery and tactical genius, while others face criticism for their disastrous mistakes. These leaders, responsible for the welfare of their soldiers and the outcomes of pivotal conflicts, became notorious not for their triumphs, but for their errors, hubris, and misjudgments. This exploration focuses on 4 U.S. generals whose reputations are tainted by incompetence and flawed decision-making. Their actions resulted in significant battlefield losses and influenced historical events in lasting ways. Join us as we reveal what history often overlooks about these infamous commanders. Before we dive in, please like and subscribe to support our community. George McClellan was born on December 3, 1826, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 1846, excelling academically but not particularly standing out in military performance. His early career included service in the Mexican-American War, where he gained crucial experience that later influenced his military strategies. When the Civil War began in 1861, McClellan was appointed commander of the Army of the Potomac. Initially celebrated as a hero for his organizational skills and troop training, his cautious demeanor soon became evident. McClellan's indecision ultimately characterized his leadership and resulted in lost opportunities that could have altered the war's course. One of McClellan's most infamous failures occurred during the Maryland campaign in September 1862. Despite having a significant numerical advantage, approximately 87,164 Union troops versus General Robert E. Lee's estimated 38,000, he hesitated to engage. His overestimation of enemy strength was exacerbated by a deep-seated fear of failure that immobilized him at critical junctures. After receiving Lee's detailed battle plans, which could have facilitated a decisive victory, McClellan postponed his attack for several days. When he finally engaged at Antietam on September 17, 1862, he failed to capitalize on opportunities for a conclusive win. The battle ended without a clear victor, resulting in heavy casualties on both sides. Approximately 12,401 Union soldiers and 10,318 Confederates were killed or wounded. President Abraham Lincoln's frustration with McClellan's inactivity culminated in his removal from command after Antietam, a pivotal moment underscoring how indecision can create missed chances in warfare. Lincoln famously expressed his discontent regarding McClellan's inability to take decisive action. "If he is not going to utilize his army, I would like to borrow it for a while." McClellan's legacy is defined by missed opportunities. Historians frequently debate whether a more assertive strategy could have significantly shortened the war. Instead, his hesitance left the Union Army untested and ill-prepared for future confrontations. His narrative serves as a reminder that effective leadership demands not only strategy, but also decisiveness. After being relieved of command, McClellan ran for president against Lincoln in 1864 as the Democratic candidate, but suffered a decisive defeat. He spent much of his later years in various business endeavors before returning to public service as governor of New Jersey from 1878 to 1881. Despite his early promise as a military leader, history often remembers him more for his shortcomings than his achievements. George Armstrong Custer was born on December 5, 1839, in New Rumley, Ohio. He graduated last in his class at West Point in 1861, but quickly gained recognition during the Civil War as a bold cavalry officer known for his flamboyant style and aggressive tactics. Custer's rapid ascent through the ranks was remarkable. He became a brigadier general by age 23 and earned fame for his valor at battles like Gettysburg. However, it was Custer's post-war career that led him to notoriety. After the Civil War, he was assigned to combat Native American tribes during the Great Sioux War of 1876. Custer's arrogance began to overshadow his military skills, often disregarding orders from superiors and acting independently. The culmination of Custer's reckless ambition occurred at the Battle of Little Bighorn on June 25 to 26, 1876. Tasked with confronting a large coalition of Lakota Sioux and Cheyenne warriors, led by Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, Custer made several critical errors that resulted in one of the most significant defeats in American military history. Ignoring intelligence reports about the size and strength of Native American forces, estimates suggested between 2,000 and 3,000 warriors. Custer divided his forces into 3 battalions instead of waiting for reinforcements. He believed he could secure a swift victory against what he perceived as an inferior enemy, as Custer advanced with approximately 210 men toward what he thought would be an easy victory at Greasy Grass Little Bighorn. He found himself encircled by thousands of well-coordinated Native American fighters ready for battle. The ensuing conflict lasted only hours, resulting in Custer and all his men being killed in action. The aftermath of Little Bighorn transformed Custer from a celebrated hero into a symbol of hubris and folly in military command. His demise became a rallying cry for American expansionism and military vengeance against native tribes, while serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of overconfidence and poor strategic planning. Custer's story illustrates how bravado without sound strategy can lead to disastrous outcomes, not just for individuals, but for entire nations. His legacy is complex. While often portrayed as a tragic hero who fell victim to overwhelming odds, many historians argue that it was his own reckless decisions that led to his downfall. In popular culture today, Custer is frequently romanticized as an archetypal American hero. However, historical accounts reveal a more nuanced figure whose ambition ultimately led him and those who followed him to ruin. Daniel Sickles was born on October 20, 1819, into a wealthy family in New York City. He initially pursued law but quickly turned to politics, becoming involved with Tammany Hall, a powerful political machine known for its corruption and patronage system. Sickles' rise through political ranks was marked by scandal. He was known for impulsive behavior and controversial decisions long before becoming a general. When the Civil War broke out in 1861, Sickles sought redemption by joining the Union Army despite lacking formal military training. His connections helped him secure a commission as brigadier general. However, it was during one pivotal battle that Sickles would solidify his reputation, though not positively. At Gettysburg in July 1863, Sickles commanded the 3rd Corps during one of the war's most significant battles. Initially ordered to hold Cemetery Ridge, a strategic high ground, Sickles made an impulsive decision with dire consequences. Against orders, he moved his troops forward without authorization into an exposed position at Peach Orchard. This reckless advance created significant gaps in Union lines that Confederate forces exploited with deadly efficiency during subsequent assaults led by General Robert E. Lee's army. Sickles' corps suffered heavy casualties due to this ill-fated maneuver. Estimates suggest around 1/3 of his men were either killed or wounded during fierce fighting over those 2 days. Despite leading to heavy losses among Union forces at Gettysburg, a battle ultimately won by Union troops, Sickles displayed remarkable bravery when severely wounded by artillery fire, yet refused evacuation until physically carried away from combat. Sickles' actions sparked intense debate about whether courage can redeem poor leadership, a question that lingers in military discussions today. His controversial reputation is further complicated by his scandalous personal life. Before becoming a general, Sickles famously murdered his wife's lover, Philip Barton Key, driven by jealousy, a crime that captivated national attention and resulted in an unprecedented legal defense based on temporary insanity. His trial became one of America's first high-profile cases involving temporary insanity as a defense strategy, a legal precedent enduring long after Sickles faded from public view following the war years. Although Sickles continued serving after Gettysburg, eventually receiving promotion to Major General, his actions during this pivotal battle remain emblematic of how personal ambition can cloud judgment on crucial matters affecting troop safety. Braxton Bragg was born on March 22, 1817, in Warrenton, North Carolina, into a wealthy family with a strong military background. His father served as an officer during the Revolutionary War. Bragg graduated fifth in his class from West Point in 1837 and distinguished himself in the Mexican-American War before rising through the Confederate ranks after the secession. As a commander, Bragg's irritable and inflexible leadership alienated many subordinates, leading to low morale. Despite achieving a significant victory at Chickamauga against Union General William Rosecrans, his inability to coordinate effectively with his officers resulted in missed opportunities and a retreat from Chattanooga. Bragg's contentious relationships culminated in open petitions for his removal due to his abrasive style and refusal to collaborate. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the necessity of emotional intelligence and respect in leadership. The legacies of figures like Bragg highlight that true leadership is measured not just by victories, but by how one navigates challenges and supports their troops. Reflecting on these historical figures prompts us to consider how different choices could have altered outcomes. What do you think? Do these generals deserve their infamous reputations? Share your thoughts.